about fire. We apologize, we got notified that we were having a technical error, but hey, that's what you get when you're on live. So you know what, let's start it back.
Okay, all right, that's right.
Because I was so busy into our conversation, I wasn't even paying attention.
It was in depth.
Yes,
That's okay. So wherever you want me to start.
Okay, we're back with, talking about all the things that you do in the community for the children.
Okay.
And what are some of the things that you do?
So we work with Brett
Okay.
to send our children to summer camp.
Okay.
So, if there's more than one child in the family, then we sort out other sponsors that will actually pay so that one child doesn't go to camp and the other two stay home.
Right.
So there are partial scholarships and full scholarships. So the money follows the child.
Yes, ma'am.
So rather than us doing the summer camps ourselves, that wherever they find there's a summer camp, we will help them pay to go there.
That's
Okay?
awesome.
So that's better than having folk come to us.
That's
Right?
right.
And then we have to pay for brick and mortar. We have to pay for the teachers.
Right.
So it's, and it's great to have this type of collaboration because everybody's trying to duplicate services.
Yes.
And we should have energy in making sure that every program is successful.
That's right.
So, I have money, but I got 10 kids. You have money, you have 15 kids. We should work to fill the capacity of every program that's already
That's right.
in existence, besides creating something else. And so, also when they're doing school season session, if there's a field trip, if they need uniforms, if they need school supplies, if they live in the Banks community, we actually pay for that.
That's amazing.
And so, anything that they're involved with, if we have parents that's, having some financial issues with utilities or whatever, we actually provide resources that we can make that happen.
That's amazing.
So, we believe the village has everything the village needs.
That's right.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, so just say, because I know we do like a back to school event, we do every year to where we do like the book sacks, the free haircuts and everything. But if we want to do similar to what you have in Banks, how can someone like us get started to do that?
Just find you some other people that are interested in doing what you're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we can help you plan it. And you really just need a day. Once you get a day, and then you go to the partners that are in your community, you reach out to other people that want to sponsor that, because the money, once you have people organized, ready to do it, the next thing you need, or the same thing, just as important, you need the money.
That's right.
Or you need someone that's gonna donate. Okay, so you bring your churches in, and your pastors in early on to say, we want to have this. I spoke with Pastor Lowe today at Greater Mount Carmel up on Sawyer Street.
Okay.
And August 7th, they're getting ready to do just what you say you want to do.
Okay.
And so they're going to do clothes, they're going to do uniforms, they're going to do food and all of that. So he wants to identify maybe 50 to 100 families that can use that assistance.
Yes, ma'am.
And so basically, they're going to blow it up. They're going to get those families there. They'll be able to pick the clothes they want and, get whatever they need. And then hopefully they can follow those families and whatever else they need. They can reach out to like Kadab and other organizations to meet the need.
Right.
It's enough of tapping in, giving me a little, giving her a little, giving me a little. They ask me, anybody need toys? Well, yeah, the same families who need the toys, they're going to need the Thanksgiving boxes.
That's right.
And the same ones who got the Thanksgiving boxes, they're going to need the toys for Christmas. Right?
That's right.
And so when school gets ready to start, they're going to probably need the uniforms.
Exactly.
Right? So I like the idea of identifying families that you can build capacity within, opposed to say, oh, well, y'all got toys last time. Y'all got, well, if the job is still the same, you still working at IHOP for $2.13, and then depending on somebody to give you a tip to pay your light bill.
Right.
Until I move to another job, the
I'm under
need
the
is
same
going to still be
circumstances,
there.
right?
Nothing has changed.
Right.
So what do you mean? We gave you coats last time. We have to share it with somebody else.
No.
Well, let somebody else take care of the next 100 families.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we can for sure build capacity within families.
That's right.
And then make sure that they can get additional training at Baton Rouge Community College, Exxon program, whatever programs are available, so they can get out of that rat race and save that for the kids in high school, freshmen in college.
Right.
So anybody who's married or not married, cohabitating or whatever with kids, those are jobs are not intended for those type of people.
No.
Because you can't read.
You can't make it. I was telling somebody the other day, we have allowed rent to be just go out of the roof. So 900 to 1,200 is almost average for any average apartment or a house, right?
Right.
So then if I'm getting, 1,200 a month, and then my bring home is going to try to probably be probably 800 or 600 every 2 weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, 8 is 16, so then you got $1,600 that's got to pay an $800 rent or $950 rent. Then you got a light bill, you got a water bill. You're never gonna catch up. I mean,
It's not gonna add up.
you just got to be clear. I got a car note, I got car insurance, I have kids,
Yes, ma'am.
and so I don't care how hard I work. I have 2 jobs, 3 jobs,
It's not going to.
and
Never enough.
it's just never enough.
The cost of living these days is just.
It's out of the wazoo, we get the money, it's not going up.
No.
And then they talk about mental health. Well, we do need the services for mental health, but the disparities is what's causing some of the mental health.
Right.
I'm stressed out every day
Yes, ma'am.
because I can't even pay my rent,
Yeah.
Right.
and so, and with the rental assistance, we just got $5 million, the mayor has announced.
Oh.
So, there is a link that you can go into, fill out the application, and the max now is $15,000 per person. So, and it's mortgage and rental assistance.
It's amazing.
So basically, they're doing 3-4 months of rent, because it's gonna be expiring.
That's
And I
what
don't think they're gonna renew it. So we need to provide resources that are available and then push out people, help them do the application.
If anyone wants to apply for the rental assistance, where can they go to apply for that?
It's on the mayor's website. And here again, we're gonna put it out on our website for
Okay.
Scotlandville CDC. I'll make sure that Simone takes care of that.
Okay.
She may be listening where she can go ahead and put it out there now.
Okay.
Because, that would take off a lot of
Yes.
stress.
It sure would.
Yeah. And the money is there. $5 million is a lot of
It's
money,
there.
and it's money that they don't have to pay back, and it gives them a fresh start.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what families need, a fresh start.
That is since the COVID-19.
Yes.
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 Tell me this. What motivates you?
Oh my God.
What motivates
But I just I actually have come to realize that I sing, but I'm really not a great singer. I don't read poetry. I'm just a servant. And so I believe that the Lord just put me here to help the people.
you?
And so when somebody calls me, I get motivated. And I think the thing that really motivates me is the lack of accountability. It disturbs me that folk have jobs, they have money in place for people, that they don't give it to the people that need it,
Yes, ma'am.
or they don't, or it's so the process is so convoluted that they can't wiggle way, get their way through it.
Yes, ma'am.
That disturbs me.
It is. It's real disturbing.
So I get motivated. I was like, what? They did what? Oh no.
Let me see about that. Let me see about that.
Let me fix this right now.
Oh yeah. So I think I've come to realize, at a long time I couldn't answer that question, but that's what it is.
Hey, I'm happy to know that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure all viewers are happy to know
Yeah,
that.
when I wake up in the morning, I say, Lord, I was sharing with somebody the other day that when I wear my jeans, I usually put money in my back pocket in the mornings.
Yes, ma'am.
And I say, Lord, we're going to get this money today. So I just wake up, just ready to help somebody.
That motivates me.
Yeah.
Just to hear you say that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Just
Yeah.
wake up ready to help somebody.
Yes, that is. So let me ask you, so when you were working for the United Health, was it like a vision that you had, or was it just Because I know like some people say, well, this was my vision. And then some people will be like, well, you know what? God just put me in the right place at the right time. And I just started doing it, you know.
I think it's a little bit of both because I actually started my community service in Houston when I attended Texas Southern under a track scholarship. Ended up coming back to Southern University, graduating, but I started community service there.
Okay.
And so I was a Girl Scout, once a Girl Scout, always a Girl Scout. So I really believe that my beginnings started with Girl Scout. I really truly believe that because you always make things better than you found them.
Yes, ma'am.
And I live by that right here, right now. You know, if I get there, it's going to be better than I left.
Mm-hmm.
If it's no more than peeing off a table
Okay, so,
or dumping a trash can. You
Yes,
know?
ma'am.
Yeah. So I think it started there, and then being we were the first black on my street in Banks. Banks was actually a middle class white neighborhood.
I never knew that.
I was told that once.
With a 235 program, small brick houses, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, and a carport. And so my family moved out of South Baton Rouge when I was 3rd grade.
Okay.
And so I'm a transplant to Scotlandville. And so when I got there, we had a brick house, and that was a big deal for me.
Yes,
you know?
yes,
And
indeed.
so, you know, other white people on the on our street, and on Saturday mornings they were cutting grass, and in the winter they were raking up leaves, and then they would throw it. And we were actually on the back street, so we played. The Brett Park was always our park.
Okay.
Because before they put the interstate in, that's where we played. Because if you lived on the back street, you couldn't go to the front. So basically, everybody on the back
Wow.
played in the woods
I didn't even know
before the interstate came in.
that. I didn't know that. I still don't know what year did they put that in the state now?
It had to be 80s because when I graduated, when I left, somewhere I think it was somewhere late 70s, somewhere around that time, because we moved from Sussex 6th grade over on 70th, and so somewhere during that time they started with the interstate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that was all woods.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So because of that, it allowed me to live in a diverse community
Yes, ma'am.
where I didn't know prejudice. You know, there were some folk that just stayed away,
Yes, ma'am.
but it wasn't a name calling. You know, the neighbors that we were. You know, the kids. I was one of 4 blacks in my class at Banks Elementary.
And what was that transition like for you?
Well, that's where I'm going with that. When I returned from Houston, I didn't recognize my neighborhood. Basically, you know, it just started to transition, and so then even as the white folk moved out and other black people moved in, it still wasn't. It was a nice neighborhood, you know, and so when I left, at what point did it go from Glen Oaks fighting against Banks and Banks against, you know, Crestwork and the university place, the field and all of that. All of that happened when I was gone. And you know, them stripping Scotlandville of the color from Scotlandville High School to Scotlandville Magnet High.
Okay.
Then they stripped our black and gold. And the school went to blue and gray. The Eagles.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So for 10 years, my children graduated from Scotlandville High as Eagles. And then it's like, how did that happen? It's like I left the Hornets and came back to the Eagles.
Wow.
So, you know, then it was a fight to get that back. So it actually is back now.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
there was a period where it was, in order for it to be a magnet school, they brought in the interstate in order, I guess, to satisfy the other folk that they were trying to get in our community. They had to change the name and the mascot and the color. But I bet you they didn't do them Panthers then. So that's why I say, the Hornets, you know, we can learn a little something from the Panthers. Because guess what, they went to McKinley Magnet, but I bet you they didn't change those Panthers.
No.
I bet you they didn't change that blue down there for the Panthers.
I would have died. And my grandma would have died.
Yes. That's
No.
exactly right. So just building our community and getting it to a point where some things that we should just not allow folk to come in and do.
That's right.
And so with Southern University there and it being one of the boldest and self-sufficient communities, you know, they were always, you know, up to do. Because a lot of people worked at Standard Oil, which is now Exxon.
Okay.
So when my dad was making $40 a week, they were making good money. Okay, so my dad had 4 kids and he made $40 a week, and he took $5 of that and gave it to my mom to take to the bank on Mondays. Okay, so that means we lived on $35 a week. Okay, now this is when I was, you know, up to like maybe second grade,
Yes,
first grade or something like that. But at that time, I said all that to say that the folk in Scotlandville, a lot of them worked for Southern University, and they worked for Standard Oil. So there are a lot of nice houses. You know, they were in different. The girls were in the debutantes and all of that. That was so far fetched for me. We didn't have an opportunity to do all that. And my own folk, they weren't reaching down to poor people. They really weren't. And so that's why I stayed in my community, because I wanted my babies to see somebody getting up, going to work, making good money, okay, and staying where they are, and you don't have to sell drugs. I don't have to sell drugs to do that. Okay, and then so they, you know, I'm like a little tree house, you know, so the little snack house they call me. So it's like if they're riding by, all my kids are gone. I still buy popcorn. I still buy Little Debbie's. I still buy Capri Suns, and they like, Miss Laduff, you got a snack? So they always know they can come to my house and get a little snack. That's right. A chip or something. I'm gonna have something for them. Yeah. So.
Okay. And I was reading in your profile where you say you are the community police ambassador. You know, when I hear such a high-ranking person like that, I want to know what is an ambassador? What do you do?
So an ambassador is like the liaison between the police officer and the community.
Okay.
So we work there's no set rule about what to do when a police officer stops. But there's some things that you just ought to not do. Okay? When the police officer stops you, you wait for the command of the police officer. There is no such thing as stay in your car or get out. They determine whether you get out or you stay in. So if the police officer stops, and I'm not making excuses now, because there are some crooked cops, and there are some folk that just won't respect us because we're black. But on a good day, the way they should be all trained is that you follow the command of the police officer. So you don't, and because now we have so many cases and incidents of police, you know, brutality as much as they're killing us and we're killing them, which is a whole other story. Because we're still killing ourselves more than the police are killing us.
Right.
You know, so somebody needs to address that.
Right.
But I was also sharing with somebody on another radio station, we talk about black on black crime. Don't be so hard with us, because we kill people that's next to us, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't talk about y'all who blowing up everybody's movie theater.
Right.
Okay, who's blowing up Oklahoma and killing everybody? Who's blowing up the Twin Towers?
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I mean,
On a massive scale.
massive scale. I don't see a whole lot of us doing that. Okay, and so basically in the ambassador program, they want you to work with the community. So we work with the police officer to understand how they feel. Okay. And they have a family. Okay, they have children, and their wife or husband is expecting them to come home.
That's right.
And so in some cases they're just as fearful as we are of them. It's kind of like a snake, you know. You you scared of a snake, but the snake
Most scared of you.
most scared of you as well. Most times they're gonna go away, right? But every now and then you're gonna meet a cobra or a blue runner who gonna stand up and say, now wait a minute, now I'm not about to run.
Right.
Okay, and so then you got an issue. And so basically, as a police ambassador, it's to make sure that each is educated so that I can share with them. So when I get information from the community,
Yes, ma'am.
I share with them. Let me tell you, I understand what you're saying, but let me tell you how we feel when you approach us.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
And then they share with us how they feel. And we go through the simulation, you know, of with the little pellets in the gun, and you do an exchange, and they show you, you know, just how they have to interact and all of that. And so, but the intent is that we understand that they are supposed to protect and serve, and they are supposed to be our friends.
Right.
When I was in first grade, they taught me that the policemen, the firemen, were my friends.
Yes, ma'am.
And they were supposed to protect me and serve, right?
Right.
And so that hasn't changed. And so it's gonna take us to actually instill that within our children.
Yes, ma'am.
Because now it's like, you being bad, I'm gonna call the police for you.
Right.
Really?
Right.
You know? So
Yeah.
some of that starts early on.
Yeah.
And it just, I mean, the issue is so great. I don't even know what the answer is.
Right.
But the police ambassador program is put in place to help with some of that.
Yes, ma'am. That's good to know. That's good to know.
Okay. Well, Ms. Laduff, if for our people and our viewers that's out there, if they want to reach you in any way, how can you be reached?
PatLaduff@yahoo.com, and put in the subject line, help, because they put in the subject line, I want to help my community. Yeah, PatLaduff@yahoo.com. And then my cell is always available, 225-964-7824, 964-7824. You can leave a message, or you can text me.
Okay, y'all, we thank y'all for tuning in to the first half of Let's Talk Fire. We'll be back with our second half, but we'll be back with the hair slingers.